what's up you guys? This is Rob from AGayGuyPlays, and today on the Quick Draw, we're going to see if the Gorgon Wraith was worth the work. As always with Wraith models, you're going to see a couple extra numbers in the stat box. The red will be the Wraith version, and the gray will be the original. So, with the new event comes a new event reward weapon, complete with confusing red swirly shit that doesn't really fit into any of the faction's thematics. This time, the rework focuses on bringing an old favorite up to par with Warframe's current batch of weapons. Now with DE being notorious for creating an event-to-win kind of culture, the real question here is, will anybody be kicking themselves for missing out on the Gorgon Wraith? So the Gorgon Wraith was rewarded to anyone who scored 500 or more points during the Tethra Zoom event, which was pretty much anyone who participated. It came fully built along with a catalyst and a free weapon slot. There was also other shit, but this is the Quick Draw and tentacle badges don't really have a place in the script. The Gorgon Wraith's primary damage type is Impact, which makes sense since this is a Grineer-themed weapon that's made specifically for powering through Corpus shields. But the teensy tiny amount of slashing and puncture damage doesn't really help much with any of the other factions. So for those of you who've never used the original, the Gorgon plays a lot like a minigun, requiring a quick wind-up time before reaching its max fire rate, making it awesome for mowing down large crowds. Once it reaches its maximum, it will continue to shoot at that fire rate until you completely stop firing or need to reload, meaning that strategic burst fire is possible, but in my eyes it's a little bit of a pain to keep up. Now if you paid attention to the stat box, you'll notice that there was only a very slight base damage upgrade with this Wraith model. In fact, it's only 2 points. The real improvements were made on the mechanical side of this model, giving a boost in accuracy, fire rate, status chance, and reload. Now, while improving those stats can greatly boost the effectiveness of a weapon, none of them were drastically changed from the original to see a significant bump. Now, it's arguable that the fire rate and reload speed could synergistically work together to create a boost in the DPS, but the fact is, due to the Gorgon Wraith's wind-up time, you won't be consistently firing this weapon at full auto, so pretty much any DPS calculation on this would be inaccurate. In addition, its low base damage, low accuracy, and inconsistent fire rate definitely make this one of the worst ammo hogs in game. Now the only pseudo-dramatic increase that we see with the Wraith model is a 10% increase to status, but if we're being realistic, it isn't the most practical upgrade. So first off, we have impact damage that deals bonus damage to shields, magnetic damage, the most typically used elemental combo for the Corpus, which also deals bonus damage to shields. So do we really need a proc that will take down their shields? You could argue that reducing their shields would help offset the low base damage of the Gorgon Wraith, but what happens when those shields are down? Neither magnetic or impact deals bonus damage to robotic or flesh types, and this weapon barely has any puncture or slashing in order to take advantage of downed shields. And for those of you who want to argue over viral, just be aware that after update 12 it no longer stacks, and you only gain the benefits of multiple procs if it completely expires off an enemy, then is reapplied. And let's face it, if your enemies live longer than 6 seconds and it's not a boss, then you're probably doing something wrong. But then again, I guess the reload speed decrease is nice, right? Speaking of closer, but nowhere near close enough, let's get to the gay factor. So after chatting with a friend of mine yesterday, more specifically this guy, I started thinking about dates, but more specifically dates with exes. You know, you get all nostalgic and you start thinking, okay, they're looking pretty good, they seem to have worked their shit out and made some much needed changes in their life. Then finally you get to hanging out again and then you realize things haven't fucking changed that much at all. They're still shit at managing their ammo, they manage to work a little bit better, but not by much, and it still takes them forever to get all wound up. Seriously, I want some action ASAP, and I still gotta wait for them to operate at full capacity. If it weren't for that faster reload speed to get them back into the action and unloading, all hope would be lost. So as for Rob's life lesson of the day, don't date exes. They're always bigger and much funner weapons to play with out there. Or boobs, because you know, straight guys watch this channel too. Now, let's get back to the Quick Draw. So as you can clearly tell, I'm not a fan. The Gorgon Wraith was definitely an upgrade to its predecessor, but it isn't drastic enough of a change to warrant you jizzing in your pants about it. It still has a low base damage, poor ammo economy, and mildly irritating wind-up time. But now it comes with annoying, uncustomizable red swirly shit and doesn't even have any polarities to make up for it. While I do see some potential in overkilling this thing, the amount of quality of life mods that I'd have to install to make this thing usable will inevitably eat into the mods that I'd need to improve its damage. So all in all, was the Gorgon Wraith worth it? Well, it really was less than an hour of my time, so sure, why not? So thank you all for watching another episode of the Quick Draw. Let me know how you guys feel about the Gorgon Wraith down in the comments. Don't forget to do the thing that I asked you to do at the end of every one of these, and be sure to stay tuned for more terrible life advice here at AGayGuyPlays. to be honest with you, you know I can't sleep in the same room as a vagina.